So I'll be introducing about Dr. Saba Hasan briefly so that we can continue with our today's session. Dr. Saba Hasan graduated from Sindh Medical College in Pakistan, the top 5% of her class. After immigrating to the United States of America, she completed an internal medicine residency at Capital Health in Trenton, New Jersey. Following graduation from her residency in 1999, Dr. Hasan served as the chief medical resident, leading to the role of director of the medical and subspecialty clinics at Capital Health in 2001, where she also served as the co-director of the palliative care program. In 2008, Dr. Hasan became director of Capital Health's internal medicine residency program. Over the years, has expanded the program from 27 residents to currently 75 residents in the program. Dr. Hasan established transitional year residency at Capital Health and was appointed as the founding director of the training program. Currently, Dr. Hasan is program director of internal medicine residency and associate DIO at Capital Health, Trenton, New Jersey. So in Department of Medicine, Rowan School of Osteopathic Medicine and the assistant professor in Department of Medicine, Drexel University. In addition to substantial experiences in graduate medical education, Dr. Hasan has held other leadership roles, including Governor of the New Jersey chapter of the American College of Physicians, 2017 to 2020. He is current member of the ACP Board of Regents and the President-elect of 2026 to 2027. Dr. Hasan received the Arthur J. Palmer Courage to Teach Award in 2014 from the ACGME. The award honors program directors who find innovative ways to teach residents and provide quality health care. She is also the recipient of Laureate Award in recognition of distinguished service to the ACP New Jersey chapter. Dr. Hasan has made numerous poster presentations, conducted workshops, co-authored book chapter, and given invited talks at national educational and faculty development conferences. In summary, her passion lays with working with the learners to create a nurturing environment of education and training for the internal medicine physician leaders of tomorrow. Dr. Saba Hasan, it's over to you. Thank you so much for joining with us today.
Salams, everybody, and thank you, Abdul Tawwab, for honoring me and giving me this amazing opportunity to address students from my college. It is
recording in progress.
Wonderful to do this after almost 3 decades. So, first, my disclosures. I have no disclosures. And I also want to clarify the opinions and recommendations that I will be sharing in these presentations are my own, informed by my personal experiences and review of literature and review of literature, and do not reflect the official views or policies of the American College of Physicians. So over the next few minutes, we will develop a strategic roadmap for building a competitive U.S. residency application. We will talk through regarding identifying ways to distinguish ourselves, all of you, in an increasing competitive match, and then develop an understanding on the current residency selection trends and what the program directors in the United States are valuing or looking for most in the incoming class of applicants. So with that, so what is occurring today in the United States in the world of academics? So USMLE became pass-fail, that's great, but we're also noticing that there's an increased number of international medical graduates each year. So if you look at the, let me move this off the screen. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, so let me move it off. So I gave you a snapshot of the 2026 NRMP match data. So just summarizing it, there were non-US IMGs about 11,944 in the match this year, right? The most recent match. And of those, 6,733 matched, right? And these are the non-US citizens that we're talking about. That is 56.4%, which is about 1.6% lower than the 2025 match. And we all know why that happened, because there were lots of visa issues that our applicants encountered this year. I will also go into the internal medicine match, because I am internal medicine. So there were 11,632 positions that were offered, categorical positions to be specific. These were 280 positions more as compared to the 2025 match. And we were filled with 11,078 positions, which is 95%. So what I'm trying to portray is that it is becoming very, very competitive. And as such, the program directors are looking for very competitive applicants. And this is what this presentation is about, that how do we come up with a very competitive application? And all of you are very competitive applicants, but how do we portray that in our application, get it across? So with that, the program directors are moving more towards a holistic review of the application, which means it is not just a USMLE or Step 2 results. They are looking at the entire application from the beginning to the end. They want to know what you did in your medical school, how you performed in each one of your medical school years, each one of your professionals, and not just with your exam results and your scores, but what else did you do in there? What was your community outreach? Did you hold any kind of leadership positions? Did you mentor your junior colleagues? Were you involved in any kind of scholarly activities? And then what did you do beyond that, post graduation from medical school? Did you do a house job? And did you do any kind of equivalent of residency training in your country of origin? How did you use your time beyond residency training in way if when you immigrated to United States while studying for your STEP exams in United States? What did you do? And we'll talk a little bit more about it a little bit later in the presentation. There is a huge emphasis on professionalism. A strong focus on communication and teamwork, because this is the crux of what we do in medicine. Now, AI, artificial intelligence, is everywhere, and we are very happy utilizing it. Before AI came in, there were consultants who were helping us with writing our CVs and applications and our personal statements. The only problem with that was that in the interview season, during the process of interview, we realized that the interview was not matching the application at all. There was a complete disconnect. So be aware of that. So my key message here is that the program directors are selecting their future colleagues, not just test takers. So build your CV realistically. Think about what else you need to be in there in order to be a complete application. So start with the end in mind. So it is a several year process. It is not something that happens in 6 months or 1 year. So think about it ahead of time. And I put it in the form of 4 professionals. You can, structure it the way you want to structure it. So I said, academic excellence is the key and will always be through all years of training. Communication, especially in English language, because that's what we do here. Research, scholarly exposure. Start thinking of your USMLE STEP exams ahead of time, because it is a little bit different structure. Leadership, like as I mentioned before, any form of publication, and doesn't have to be a manuscript. It could be a poster, it could be a performance improvement project. Think about clinical electives while you are a medical student, if you have the opportunity and means to do it. So if your medical school is listed in the Green Book, and I know most of you are familiar with it, international medical schools are listed there, and I know SMC is, then perhaps if you have the opportunity, do an elective that gives you a hands-on experience with patients, which you will not get with observerships, and perhaps a good letter of recommendation. Start thinking of ERAS application, what it requires, and what are the parts of the ERAS application and how you would complete it. Letters of recommendation, I'm going to talk to you more in detail about later, interview prep, and then which programs would you apply to. So what is the foundation of a strong application? And you will hear me talk about this over and over again. Academic performance is the key. It's the crux. I have a 100% IMG program. Most of the internal medicine programs, if that's what you are planning to apply to, are IMG programs. If not 100%, majority are. And we are very familiar with international medical schools, how their grading system is. We look for their performance criteria. We look for first and second divisions. We do not like repeat courses, things like that, that is not looked at favorably within your medical school. So we really familiarize ourselves with that. So please be cognizant of it. Also remember that, and again, I'll perhaps speak of it later also, is that if there is a setback, talk about it in your personal statement and let us know why the setback occurred. Clinical competence, again, is really important during medical school, post medical school with your house job or residency training equivalent, because those letter writers will be able to comment on your clinical competence, which is really looked at favorably when you're applying for your residency training. I often hear from applicants that I did not choose to do my house job or my residency training because I was planning to come to United States. So I just, I don't know what they did. So they kind of share with me something that I used my time to study for my STEP exams, while I have another applicant who did their house job or did their training while they were studying for their STEP exams. That's the applicant that I would look at favorably. Again, I'm going to mention professionalism and then your personal attributes, which again will come through in your letters of recommendations. Is this individual goal-oriented? Are they focused, disciplined, hardworking? Are they organized, pleasant and respectful? Do they have this can-do attitude? How do you manage stress and setbacks? And it also comes through not just in your letters of recommendation, but also through your personal statement, and just your entire trajectory. Your CV is going to reflect many of those attributes also. So USMLE matters as much as I'm talking about the holistic review. So Step 2 CK remains one of the strongest objective measures. We're looking for that. So it demonstrates the depth of your medical knowledge, the ability to succeed academically, and readiness for residency. So why are we so focused on medical knowledge? For obvious reasons, because you have to have good medical knowledge to provide good patient care, and that's the basis of your development of clinical competence and providing good care to the patients. But also remember, program directors are thinking ahead, right? One of the things they're thinking ahead is, are you able to pass your board exam, your ABIM certification, which will be at the end of 3 years of training? And that is going to be a reflection on their residency program. So there are a lot of things, downstream effects that are very important. If there are second attempts on Step 1 and Step 2, then that is also not looked at favorably. Also, then people stress out, applicants stress out because of Step 2, that this is the objective measure. So they delay taking Step 2 for a very long time. And there may be a substantial gap between Step 1 and Step 2. That is also not looked at favorably. And if there is, you will be asked that why did you take such a long time taking Step 2? So be ready to answer that question too, if there is a reason for that. So don't stress out too much. You are very smart people and you have come through a lot of challenges and you're very intelligent and hardworking. Prepare for an exam like you prepare for any other exam and take it, and you will do well. Do not procrastinate. Okay, US clinical experience. Okay, so I'm going to share something with you that probably doesn't sit well with most people, but I will just share it with you. And the issue is there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation that is floating around. So the reason is that many programs perhaps still post on their website that they're looking for US clinical experience, they're looking for letters of recommendation from United States, which is kind of ridiculous if you think about it, because you're not really supposed to touch patients because you don't have any malpractice in the United States. So observerships are supposed to be hand off, not hands on, okay? And in observerships, you're not really learning anything, you're observing. So this is my take on it. So when you're doing an observership, you're coming into a new healthcare system, and the goal of observership is for you to understand this United States healthcare system, how things function. You will actually really understand when you do your residency training, the point of each residency program during orientation and the first few months is to educate you on all this. So you will learn that, how the team structure is in United States, what is the role of a case manager, social worker, how do we work as multidisciplinary teams, etc., etc. What are the different insurances, what roles they play, but you really don't need to know all that in much depth because residents do not really do billing. It is your attending physicians who do the billings. If you do any billing, it's very superficial. So once you have done like maybe 3 or 4 observerships, that's enough. You don't really need to keep doing it. That's why I said it is the quality and not the quantity, right? And perhaps you can get like 1 or 2 good letters of recommendations from there. These individuals do not know you clinically. All they can comment on that perhaps you're a team player, you're professional, you're respectful, and you have good communication skills. The people who can actually write good letters for you are the ones that you're sitting with right now in your home country. So what else can you do? So I talked about hands-on electives that you can do while you're still a medical student if you have the means to do it and the opportunity. And other things that you can do if you actually are in United States and have the opportunity to be here is I see many of our applicants work as telemonitor techs or they get engaged with research at university institutions, they work as pharmacy techs. Many of these positions will start as volunteer positions and then they become paid positions. I will often ask, are you working as volunteer? And they will say, yes, I started as volunteer, but now I'm a paid. And that speaks volumes. And the reason it speaks volumes is because, again, it tells me this is an individual who's hardworking, is trustworthy, is a team player, has excellent communication skills. Somebody relied on this individual and wanted to hire this person to work for them and pay them. Also, I want to remind everybody, I do not work so much with visas, but it is my understanding that an individual who comes on J1 visa, they cannot work before they get their J1 visa, because if they put on their CV that I did a hands-on observership or hands-on experience, or any kind of meaningful work, they will not get a J1 visa. So please look into that. And also, I would like to share with you that there are many predatory organizations who are offering hands-on experiences with patients, and they promise you a letter of recommendation at the end of it. They're charging applicants $2,000 to $5,000 for 1 to 2 weeks of experience. And they write the same letters for everybody. When I'm reviewing applications, I see them. I don't even bother to read those letters. Other PDs know the same thing. So hence, because of this, there was a summit that was held, organized by American College of Physicians in collaboration with the Association of Program Directors in Internal Medicine, which is a very large organization of program directors, faculty, et cetera, in United States, as well as Intel Health, which is, is ECFMG, to discuss observerships, because all this observerships and predatory organizations, and it was a multidisciplinary conference. It was held in February of 2026 to discuss if actually observerships are useful and how much of a burden it is on the applicants, especially IMGs who already are financially strained. And it was the summit participants were program directors, faculty, residents, chief residents, and who else? Chief residents, faculty, IMGs, etc., fellows. And the consensus was that we don't know, we need more research in it, but because again, people felt that, we're not really sure if it is beneficial or not beneficial. So hence, I would caution you. Also, I would let you know that in certain states, observerships are not allowed. I myself did an observership in the state of New Jersey. I very happily and proudly put it on my CV at the end of my third year when I applied for my New Jersey state license so I could practice medicine. I had to appear in front of the New Jersey Board of Medical Examiners to clarify that when I did the observership, did I touch any patients? I also worked in a doctor's office prior to starting my residency training where I triaged patients. And I put there, in the doctor's office, I was learning and he was teaching me when he saw patients. And I had to clarify that I no way did I examine patients or I touched patients. Otherwise, they were holding off on my license because it's a violation. So this is why I do not offer any observerships at Capitol Health at our institution. So I just wanted to clarify that to everybody. So be very careful when you are writing that on your CV. Please check that particular state's licensing board's requirements. All right, letters of recommendations and personal statements are the two backbones of your ERAS application. So the best letters will describe your clinical skills, your work ethic, your reliability, your communication style, your teamwork, your professionalism. And these will come from individuals, your letter writers who know you the best. And these are the people you work with every day, your professors. They know you clinically, they know you at a personal level, they've worked with you for years, and they will write a beautiful letter for you. My recommendation would be that you get at least 2 letters from back home. And then if you want 2 letters, you can get them from your US clinical experience to satisfy the needs of those programs that need those US letters. I would avoid those generic letters that you get from these observerships, which are short and very, very generic. They don't know you. And then I have noticed that sometimes there are letter writers that will say to you, hey, Saba, do you want to write your letter and I will sign it for you? Please do not fall into that trap. Do not do that. All right. So moving on. Research, any kind of scholarly activity is so valued in your application. And it doesn't really have to be a manuscript like I shared with you previously. It could be a quality improvement project, a case report, or a poster presentation at a local level within your country, or it could be something that you presented at an international level. But most importantly, whatever you put on your CV, you should be able to explain it. This is so important, and be ready because we will ask you. Be ready to explain it clearly, concisely, and quickly in like 1 minute. Okay, I see this all the time. They'll say, "Oh, could you tell me about this project? What did you?" It's like it takes like 5 minutes to get to the point. Please, we don't have 5 minutes. These are virtual interviews. They are 15 to 20 minutes. And if you're going to take 5 minutes to share with me that, we already lost a lot of point and there's a lot to talk about. And then I don't get to know you enough in order to rank you appropriately. It also shows that you don't know your project too well. All right. So What should you do? Again, just emphasizing, try and engage in something. You don't have to do everything, but do something. All right. See if there's an opportunity to have a leadership role, a class rep position, or if you have committees in your medical school, try to join that committee. Or, if you're doing some kind of an outreach service, like community service within your, I know in medical schools, you do have community services or camps that you set up. Try to engage with those. If they're teaching opportunities, try and engage in them. Any kind of advocacy that you do at your local level, whether it is for patients or it is for peers or anything else, do not get involved in any political advocacy, please. Mentorship, be a mentor or a mentee, anything that you can do, and then volunteer work that you can do. All of these experiences will tell us who you are. It will tell us what kind of a person, what kind of an individual we are bringing into our community, into our program. And then, as you're writing your CV, as you're writing your story, think about yourself. What is something that you want to share with us? What is making you memorable? Is it your leadership? Is it your global health that you're bringing to our program? Because there's a lot that you're bringing to us, right? When I'm rounding with my residents, they're sharing so much. They're teaching me every day. Your friend there, Abdul Tawab, he just taught me so many different things. It doesn't really have to be about medicine, right? We have to learn a lot from each other, and it could be anything that helps us. So what he taught me just now will help me with my next presentation. Anything innovative that you just did, and research, education, humanitarian work. There's so much humanitarian work that all of you do every day for your patients, for your community. So share that with us. And now we come to the personal statement, so the favorite part of the application. So I will share with you, as a program director, we go through, like, I don't know, we get 3,000 applications, and I have to have a system in place. So I read the CV first, right? And then I need to understand what's going on with this person. So then I go to the personal statement to understand their story. And then I go to the letters of recommendation. So the personal statement has to complement the CV. It should not be repeating the CV. It has to tell me your story. It has to make sense to me who you are, right? Who Abdul Tawab is, right? So why medicine? Why did I choose medicine? Not because I had a sick grandma with diabetes, or not because somebody gave me a stethoscope. I want a personal statement that I'm going to read the first line, and I'm going to read every sentence of that personal statement to the end. That is the person I will connect with, and I will say, I write a lot of notes, and I make my faculty write a lot of notes because there's a lot to do. Every person who reviews the application has to write down a lot of notes as to why they like this application or they don't like this application. What are the positives? What are the negatives? Why I want to meet this person, right? And why they want to do internal medicine, because people apply to more than one specialty. We all know that. And why now? So you may have graduated, just graduated, you're coming now, or you may have graduated 5 years ago or 10 years ago, but you're choosing to come now. Or I have residents in my program who practiced surgery for 10 years. They were the head of their department, chairs of the department, but now they're doing medicine, and they graduated with honors in our program and are doing amazing, and they went into pulm critical care and doing absolutely amazing there too. So, and this is just one person, I'm telling you about many, many people like that. So I need to know why. What's going on, right? You have to convince me. Why should I invite you, right? And then many of us, all IMGs, have had challenges, and that's why we are so resilient. So tell me about a challenge or two challenges, and what have you learned from those challenges, right? How have you moved forward from there? I would love to hear that. Everybody would love to hear that. And just one thing of caution, sometimes I see people write a lot about their medical illnesses in there. I'm not sure what's the reason behind it. Is it to get empathy or something else? I would just caution you about that. Okay. All right. Communication skills are so important. So really communicate clearly, concisely, with clarity, be aware of your surroundings, what's happening. Be humble. Humility is good, no matter who you are, where in your stage in your life you are, and be aware. Okay, self-awareness is very important. Medicine is a team sport, right? And we work in multidisciplinary teams. We are all the same. We have a role, and no matter what our role is on the team, it is the patient who's the most important person in the middle of it. That's what's important and nothing else. Networking is important. No matter where you are. So if you're back home, network, connect with people, attend. What you're doing right now is also important. What is happening within your country, whatever meetings, webinars are happening. If you have an opportunity to attend an international webinar conference, that's important. If you're here in the United States, attend. I'm internal medicine, of course, I'm biased, ACP, of course. If you're interested in something other than internal medicine, attend those specialty conferences. It's always good to connect with people. You do not know where your life is going to take you in 5, 10, 15 years. I did not know that I would be here in 2.5 decades later. If they are residency open houses, I would encourage you to attend them because it gives you an insight into the culture of the program. It's really important. Different programs operate differently. There's a different culture in the program. You really need to know what's happening inside. Collaborate on researches. It's really important because, somehow you will get your name in there. And then utilize these networking opportunities. There are no guarantees that, if you know somebody, you will get something out of it. That's not going to happen. But it's good to know. It's helpful. People will mentor you, guide you, support you. That's what's important. All right. I can't harp enough on professionalism because I have seen unprofessional behavior during interview season, which is like, what are you doing? You have worked so hard to get to this point, and it is so good that I have observed it during interview season, but that I was able not to rank those people. That luckily that I observed it. Otherwise, I would have had them for 3 years and would have had to manage them for those 3 years. So thank you for that, for them to, and when people have such behaviors, they do come through. So please, always be prompt. If somebody is, your program is emailing you, respond to them promptly. Do not make excuses. Excuses are not good. Always be respectful. Like I said, it doesn't matter if this is a coordinator or a program director. Everybody's the same, right? We are all humans. We are all same. There's no hierarchy. Follow instructions carefully. Read them twice, read them thrice. I still read instructions twice because I don't understand. Then I read them the third time to make sure I'm not making a mistake when I'm answering. And if you don't understand, which is also okay, ask clarifying questions. Please avoid unprofessional social media posts starting today. Do not post anything unprofessional. People look at social media, okay? And that is extremely important. And then treat everyone with respect, no matter what their role is, anywhere in the world, let alone in the program. Okay, and remember, everyone gives feedback. Program coordinators, residents, everyone you touch will give feedback. So I was sharing with you about unprofessional behavior earlier. So I've had examples where in the era where pre-COVID, when we used to have in-person interviews, applicants would come in and would unfortunately have unprofessional communication with either security or front desk. And of course, they will report it to the program, right? And that is not correct. So we should never let that happen. And this unprofessional behavior would come from parking in the wrong place when they were respectfully advised this is incorrect place to park. That's where words were exchanged. So common reasons they're not ranked. One is that poor communication, generic personal statement, weak letters, late applications. Oh, about that, one more thing. So I think most program directors only review complete applications. So say if you submitted an application and they're missing letters or missing USMLE result or something else, I will not review that application. Or say if I partially reviewed and then I realized, oh my gosh, ECFMG certification is pending, so I put it on hold. And then I will not get to that application, say till November or December. So now it's, almost half the season is gone. So this is why I highly recommend that only submit completed applications. Unable to explain research, like I said, if this is something you worked on, you spend like months on it, and then if I'm asking you to tell me about your project, and you take 5 minutes and you still can't get to the point, then that's a shame. So you should be able to explain it very quickly in a minute. And if I have further questions, I will ask. So poor interview performance is one of the, I think, most important reasons for not making the rank list. So what do we really want? To look at that long list, I think most important thing that I would look for in that list is coachability. Me and my faculty able to train this person? Is this person trainable, right? Do they have a growth mindset? You look at the entire application and you say, is this person coachable or not? Am I able to train this person? Is this person able to work in a team? And will they be able to provide patient-centered care? Do they bring cultural humility? We are a multicultural program. We need to respect each other no matter where they come from. And we need to respect that culture, religion, and ethnic background. Just the way we expect them to respect us, we need to respect them, right? And are they flexible and adaptable? So the questions we will ask ourselves when we are sitting in that rank order list meeting is, would I trust this person to care for my family? And will this person bring strength to the team? Will the residents like working with this individual? Will they seek feedback and will they respond to feedback? Will they work on feedback? And will the patients trust this person? This is extremely, extremely important. Interview day is so, 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 so important. I can't emphasize enough. So now you have made through that CV errors hurdle, right? And you're in. And this is your day. This is what's going to get you on that match list. Now, where you're going to be on that match list is going to be determined on the interview day. Are you going to be on the top, middle, or in the lower half or not? That's exactly on the interview day. We rank you on the interview day. How we move you a little bit up or down is going to be on that ranking list meeting, right? So you're being evaluated from the minute you log in, right? So be cognizant of your surroundings, be cognizant of your background. What is on your background? Be careful, right? Please avoid any kind of, religious stuff. If you want to put something there, which like some people put like they're into artsy stuff, so they will put paintings or things that they have made themselves. So you can put that and then we can use it as a hook to ask you, like, did you do it yourself? Because it's in their hobbies. Oh, by the way, if you put hobbies, make sure that they're your actual hobbies and not something just because you think you want to do it, because we will ask you questions about that too. Use a laptop and not a phone. It looks really, really bad, honestly, if you use a phone. Professional appearance, professional attire, hair, everything is really important. Women, men, both, okay? Communication style, listening skills. Please listen carefully. If you want to clarify, it's okay. If you want to take notes, just say, I would like to take notes while you're asking, or I have notes, or I have written down my questions. Is it okay if I refer to my questions? Perfectly okay. It shows your organizational skills. How you interact with residents, how your curiosity of asking questions, how you ask them, and be your authentic self. Be yourself. You're awesome. You don't have to be somebody else. Look like somebody else, act like somebody else. You don't need to be. You're great the way you are. Red flags. Again, you see how many times I have this unprofessional in one way or the other. Negative comments about another institution, another person, another, or your school, your own school, or your own country, or your own political environment. Please do not talk about these things. Do not. I cannot emphasize enough about it. Dishonesty, inconsistencies in your application. We will pick up on it before you know that, and we will ask you, okay? Poor interpersonal skills, inability to reflect on your mistakes, we will ask you, okay? And lack of accountability. So, what makes you exceptional? You are awesome, quote unquote. You are all amazing. You are hardworking, you're motivated, you're focused. That's why you're all here today. I think it's nighttime and it's your day off, and you're doing all this, right? You are academically excellent. This is why 30% of the residency positions in United States are filled by international medical graduates. I want you to just let it sink, okay? That's why you are academically sound, right? You are resilient. You're professionally mature. You have come through so many challenges. And you believe in continuous improvement, right? You are of that mindset. You're all leaders in your own way. You provide service to the community. You provide service to the patients. You're humble, okay? And you're authentic in every possible way. So believe in yourself. And if you're not going to believe in yourself, nobody else will believe in you. Just remember that. All right, so my take-home message is build your application intentionally. Quality will always outweigh quantity. Authenticity will always stand out, okay? Professionalism, professionalism, professionalism. Relationships matter. Do not undermine your relationships that you have built back home. They're very, very important. And tell your story, not your accomplishments. They will come when you tell your story. That's what's important. All right, don't chase perfection, okay? Pursue excellence, focus on becoming a better clinician, communicator, a better teammate, and a lifelong learner. So residency programs recruit future physicians, not perfect applicants. And that's the truth. Okay. So I had my full disclosure, I had AI make me 2 applications, and I just wanted you to know how program directors will choose. So I will take 5 minutes to go through it. Okay. So I have applicant A. Now the USMLE is passed. Step 2, CK is 267, comes from a well-known international medical school, graduated 2022, did 2 observerships, no hands-on electives, no sub-I, 9 publications, multiple posters, no leadership, 3 letters, okay letters, pleasant student, performed assigned duties, and personal statement was generic, mainly focused on academic achievements, little personal reflection. Interview, they said frequently interrupted the interviewer, couldn't explain research, blamed medical school for limited opportunities, limited eye contact. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this. You have to please make eye contact. And this is another thing I forgot to mention. So, normally, PDs will say, and I say this too, could you tell me a little bit about yourself? I'm really looking for communication skills. And I hear almost, I would say 30 to 40% of the time, this rehearsed opening in the, like for, goes on for 2, 3 minutes. It's your story, right? Why I need a rehearsed opening that you're reading from your laptop? It's you. You know yourself. You know what you did. So please, no rehearsed openings. Just write that down somewhere and make eye contact with the person that you're talking to. Good. We wrote it there too. Appears rehearsed. All right. Applicant B. Step one, CK is 244, international medical graduate, 2024, 3 months on some hands-on elective, sub-I, excellent faculty evaluations, one quality improvement project, one case report, presented locally and able to discuss impact. Leadership, he was the president of the class, medical student interest group, organized health fairs, and mentored junior students, did some volunteer activities, good letters of recommendations. Personal statement was authentic, discussed some family experiences and professional growth. Interview was also looked like good. So what would the program directors discuss? So between applicant A and applicant B, I put some qualities there. I'm going to leave it for 5 seconds. Then most program directors will choose applicant B for those reasons. So scores can open the door, but it is everything else that is going to help you to get into the residency program. So it is not just the scores, which is I'm trying to emphasize through this application, through this presentation. So what if the CK is 280, right? And that's not going to help either because a high score can earn an interview. So some programs really look at the scores because there's still people who will screen using the filters, using the scores. Yes, in my program too, I have a minimal of 220, no fails. I do not filter for year of graduation, but there are programs that do all that. So, but look at everything. Other programs who do put those filters will still not, forgive for professionalism or weak communication, lack of insight, right? They will still look for other things. So I'm going to stop here with questions, and I really want to read this out loud. Your greatest advantage is not where you trained, it is who you become during the journey. So after I take your questions, and if we still have time, then soon to be Dr. Abdul Tawab asked me to share my journey from SMC to ACP with you. I will take maybe 5, 8 minutes to go through it. But first, I will take your questions. I will pause for that. So I will stop sharing screen here.
Thank you, Dr. Saba. We have a few questions that we got from the registration form, but throughout your presentation, I think you have covered most of the questions. Like, they have asked most of the questions. So I hope that we have one or two questions that our participants would like to ask. We can move forward. Do you have any questions? You can use the chat box to type the questions. Yes, we have. Yeah, okay. So we have a question, Dr. Sabha, if I got directly. They were asking you to repeat the J1 visa information to you can please about the J1 visa
So
information.
I have no authority on J1 visa. Unfortunately, you'll have to go to the Intel Health or ECFMG site. I heard from ECFMG recently that, or Intel Health, that if you work, if you were in the country or you did a hands-on observership of some kind, and then you apply for J1 visa, it will get canceled. You cannot put that on your CV that you did that because you're not allowed to work before you get your J1 visa. And applicants were doing that and their J1 visa got canceled. So you really need to look on your ECFMG site or wherever you have your J1 visa information very, very carefully. And anyway, like I said, it's not a good idea. Is it necessary? Honestly, somebody's writing, is it necessary for IMGs to do electives in US? If you ask me, it is not necessary, honestly. If you were graduating from your country and you applied to my program and your application was beautiful, I will interview you, but everybody is different. So you really have to get an insight into the program, understand the program's culture, see what they're asking for on their website. So you really have to apply intelligently, understanding each program, what they're asking for. And that's the key for it. You have to do your research. If a program says, I don't accept any fails, then why are you applying to that program? Why are you wasting your money? Or if a program, like in our program, unfortunately, we don't accept visas, right? Then why are you wasting your money applying to our program, honestly? I do
Okay, Dr.
have
Saba.
some J1 visas. I will not, don't take me wrong. I do have some J1 visas that I had to recruit for some other reasons. I expanded the program recently. So I did hire J1 visas. But then, as a rule, we don't. But then I get so many J1 visa applications. Why are you doing that when on the website it says only green card holders? So that's what I'm saying. Please research the programs carefully.
Dr. Sabha, we have another question I got personally. She's asking me, does academic setback during medical school, like having low CGPAs, affect USMLE journey?
What is CGP?
Having a cumulative GPA, yes, medical school scores.
It depends on how low it is. We look at everything together. It's not one thing.
And also, there's another question. It says, can discussing personal trauma or significant life challenges negatively affect your ERAS application or residency interview? Could it be perceived as an attempt to gain sympathy?
Yes, this is what I was talking about. It depends on how it would be perceived. Um, if it is, why are you mentioning it? Number one, that's my question. What is the purpose of mentioning it? And how much you want to talk about it? And why you want to talk about it? Like, what is the end goal here? Are you trying to say that I came out more resilient out of it? Two lines. Or you're trying to gain sympathy because your application is weak? I don't know. So I see that a lot. And I'm going to stop that there.
Do you have any other question? I think you have a question. The chat box, it says, does working in the US for a few years in healthcare in a position other than residency, like postdoc research fellowship or any other similar position, count as a positive thing in our ERAS application?
Yeah, it's okay. As long as you're working and you're doing something, it is fine because by the time you come to United States, you have no financial or social support in United States when you immigrate here, right? So it takes you about 3 to 5 years to get into a residency program. So you have to support yourself in some way, right? You need credit card, you need a car, you need to get your feet on the ground. If you have a family, you need to support them also. So you need to do something, right? Then you need money to take exams and then apply for errors. All of that is very expensive. It's not cheap, right? So good thing now you don't have to fly all over the country to do interviews. Um, and so it's okay. So if you were working, during that time doing something and you explain all that this is what I was doing. It doesn't have to be a whole PS, but in a paragraph that this is why it took me a while to do this.
Good. We'll entertain one more question, Dr. Saba. We have a question saying that if someone completes residency from home country, from Pakistan, and wants to do fellowship in the United States, how would one navigate this path if possible?
But if they've not done residency, how will they do fellowship? So,
If they've done residency in home country, they mentioned about in doing Pakistan.
so I am not sure how that can be done. Um, s- um, I believe there is something in the American Board of Internal Medicine that if you have completed 3 years of residency training in a international medical school, you get some kind of credit. I don't think they give you credit for all 3 years of training, but I don't quote me on this. There is if somebody wants, if you can send me their email, I can send them the ABIM policies and procedures booklet that has all the information because I always have to go back and refer to it. I don't remember the regs like in my head like that.
Okay, Dr. Saba. Thank you so much. Can we move forward? Is that okay, fine?
Oh, so the next part? Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, Dr. Saba, we can.
Okay, thank you. All right, so like all of you, I came from Sindh Medical College a long time ago. So my story will be same as all of you, each one of you. And the career path started in 1985 when I graduated from Sindh Medical College. Soon after my graduation, I immigrated to United States, but then I was a stay-at-home mom for almost 10 years. After that, my parents immigrated to United States. I didn't have a support system, so I did not want to leave my 3 children at home alone. So after they immigrated, I did my residency training at Capital Health in Trenton, New Jersey. After that, I had different roles at Capital Health and then program director and associate DIO, which is my current role at Capital. My first association with American College of Physicians was as an associate member during my residency. But what really inspired me was my, I think, attendance at their first annual meeting. I was just awestruck with the breadth of the content that was there in every way and form that was available for, I think, every step of the professional journey and like-minded individuals. And I thought I found my professional home. So I got engaged with any opportunity that the college offered, whether it was form of as an abstract reviewer or poster judge or student mentoring breakfast. And I still do that, even though, I moved on into different, in my professional journey, into different levels of work with the college, but I still enjoy doing all that. So from becoming a member, I joined the Governor's Council for the chapter of New Jersey. Then I was elected as the governor for the New Jersey chapter. Thereon became the board member and now as president-elect. During the course of this time, also became a fellow of the college and was later awarded mastership with the college. So it has been baby steps. Something I share with my residents very often is that we encounter many challenges in our professional and personal life, but what we really need to focus on is what is in our control and work towards those things and not things that are not in our control. So my lessons learned in this journey is that as an IMG who came to United States after being a stay-at-home mom for so many years, I came into an academic system of new culture, which was a mind-boggling experience, as you can imagine. There were expectations of me, which I did not expect, and a healthcare system which was so complex. I was navigating through this uncertainty each day. I felt like I had no identity and I did not belong. So very early, I realized that growth requires intentional adaptation. So immediately, there were communication nuances. Remember, I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't leave the house. I talked to babies and toddlers all day long. There were cultural differences and that I needed to understand and adapt to without compromising my own principles and values. I needed to understand this very complicated healthcare system. And then there is this ongoing imposter syndrome and self doubt even today. And this is why I said earlier in my presentation, we have to believe in ourselves and our abilities. And if we don't, nobody else would. So, and most importantly, I had no mentors to help me. And I think when I was back home in Pakistan, I didn't even have any mentors there or thought about mentors. And also there were no networks. And my first network was the American College of Physicians, and later it was the Association of Program Directors after I became the program director. So first thing first, you build that self-awareness. So recognizing my own strengths, resilience, and work ethic. Yep. And then my growth areas, communication, and building that self-confidence, and then seeking out feedback, which I think I ever did before, from those mentors that I sought out and my peers, and then practicing self-reflection, which I, again, is my something I talk to my residents about all the time, that maybe 5 minutes before you go to bed every night, reflect and think about what you could have done better today. Okay, so then finding those mentors. So mentors are a little bit different from advisors. These are individuals who would actually help you to recognize your strengths and your opportunities, and then make you think about how you can work through those opportunities and help yourself. So actively sought them out within the American College of Physicians, as well as with the Association of Program Directors, really, really great mentors in both those societies, organizations, and learned from their diverse leadership styles, which is so important because look at my program, such a diverse program and diverse faculty, and creating those meaningful professional relationships with respect and transparency. So I quickly realized that growth comes through adversity, with facing setbacks and failures. And through that, you develop that resilience and persistence. And then I also realized that feedback is a tool and it's not a threat. And then that's how I developed the confidence through these experiences. So what I said to you earlier, as an IMG, we bring unique strengths as leaders. We bring cultural humility and adaptability. We have a very strong work ethic and perseverance. We can navigate complexity because this is what we have done all our life, and we are very, very good at it. And then we bring this global perspective to patient care to the table, which many people are not able to do. and look at our patients, by the way, here in United States. They are from all over the world too. We can advocate for our trainees, and I can tell you again, 30% of our trainees are IMGs, and we are able to customize their orientation and their intern boot camps so that they have a seamless transition into the healthcare system here, as opposed to what I experienced when I transitioned into our residency program. And we lead through experience, which is so important, and not through authority and hierarchy, which is also very important. So my lessons, growth is very uncomfortable, but it is necessary. Feedback is really important, and it needs to be done consistently, not once in a while. Build your relationships intentionally, and leadership is a journey and it's not a destination. So my shameless plug, please join ACP. I have the QR code there for you. I also put my email there in case you have any questions for me. And student membership is free with many, many resources for you. There are many resources for IMGs on the ACP website, in case you're not familiar with it, especially for IMGs. And it does have a whole section on how to prepare your application. It also has information on J1 visas, which connects you to Intel Health. Also on how to prepare for your interview day, your CV, ERAS application, a whole slew of things that unfortunately I was not aware of up to 3 years ago, till I had to prepare a presentation for a chapter meeting. So please do use those resources to your benefit. And that's my last slide. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saba, for your valuable insight. I hope all our participants have learned a lot to IM program director's perspective, which is really new for us. Especially the examples that you took about applicant A and B was really insightful, so that we get a, sort of an idea how the system really works. Thank you so much for that. And before we move on thank you, Noah. I would like to also say that from the Internal Medicine Research Group of Sindh Medical College, we publish a monthly newsletter, and we also add few points, the important resources from the ACP website to our newsletter. So all our readers can go through these valuable resources, starting from preclinical, clinical, and post-clinical levels of resources. So any of our viewers can go through them. So as you know, I imagine the concept of ACP, and we are upholding those resources while we are working at Sindh Medical College level as well. And before we conclude, I would like to invite our Madam Principal, Professor Amreen Usmani, who's been joining with us today, this evening, to say a few words about today's session. Ma'am, are you available with us? Professor Amreen? Oh, okay.
She's saying you need to unmute. Yeah, unmute her.
I think have to ma'am, I think you have to unmute yourself. You don't have the option here.
All right. I think
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tawab.
Yeah.
Dr. Saba Hasan, it's really an honor to have you with us, and thank you so much. And on behalf of SMC, I would even like to invite you to Pakistan and come and visit us, so that we can also get to see you. That would be really wonderful. I don't know if you visit Pakistan enough or not. By the way, my video, I can't put my video up. You have really put a lot of, uh, filters inside. I cannot put my video up also. Yeah.
Let me try to see now.
That's okay. But I joined a little late. I'm so sorry, because I was traveling. So I think I heard you around half an hour. It was very, very helpful. And I would give a lot of credit to Thawab. He has made a great effort in connecting with you. and also in making sure that he gets you to speak also. So thank you again, and I think the students have really benefited from your talk, and it's amazing to see that a stay-home mom doing so much. It's really commendable, and it was lovely listening to you. So on behalf of the entire college, you must know that SMC is now a university. It is known as Sindh Medical University, and it has not only SMC, but a lot of other programs running in it. But obviously, SMC shines the most, and we've got brilliant students. We've got brilliant students, and you are one of the examples of the outcome of SMC. Now, I guess these students will keep in touch with you, and hopefully we do get to see you in person too. Thank you very much again. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
so
Dr.
much,
Usmani. Absolutely no thanks is needed at all. Shukr, alhamdulillah, that I was able to do this for the students today. I owe this to them, to the college, to the country, to all of you for giving me the education, free education, honestly. And anything that is needed, I'm available at any time. And absolutely, look at this. Abdul Tawab, he told me, my friends call me Abdul Tawab. I asked him, how should I refer to you? And how innovative and outgoing that he reached out to me and has been in touch with me. And this is what I'm saying. We are the smartest people in the world
Very true.
on the other side of the globe. And they have so much talent, and we need to give them the opportunity to be able to practice no matter where they wish to practice. And we are available to help them.
Very true, and very well said. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor, and thank you so much, Dr. Saba, for a wonderful session and especially your Sunday morning with us, sharing Sunday morning with us. I hope today is a special day for the entire world. We are having the World Cup finals as well, so people are preparing for it as well. So thank you very much, and thank you for
Welcome. My pleasure.
so much. And
Yeah,
we
it
have
must
many
be
of our
so fun.
faculties as well, ma'am. So we have many of our faculty members here with us. We have our patron-in-chief of our IMIG, Dr. Uruj Rahman, and many of our faculty members who have joined today. They wanted to listen to you as well. So they're also here in the meeting with us. Unfortunately, I'm unable to name many of them individually. So thank you very much, everyone, for taking your time on Sunday evening for joining with us. Inshallah, hoping to see you again in another wonderful session. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Truly on.
Allah Hafiz.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.